Happy Sunday, everybody. Mark here at Gilbo Realty. Thank you so much for coming back and watching another show today. I went to Glenview Country Club yesterday. Had some appointments in the morning. Figured I'd take my wife out to lunch, so we did. We went up there. What a beautiful place. What you're missing in the South, below 44, probably below 466A, are the country clubs, in my opinion. And they're like, oh, no, we got Boosters down there. And, we got Shady. They're trying to, pawn off Sawgrass is kind of a country club, other places to stop is what the website says. But they're not like the older sections. The whole community stops into these places during the day. So it's absolutely amazing to see. And the bartenders know everybody, and they know all the bartenders and the staff. And it's just unreal. And the views are gorgeous in these places. Doesn't seem to be happening anymore in the southern portions of the villages. I'm not sure because of cost cutting. Maybe they're changing mindset for the new generation. But I really do see the difference in the country club views when you look from the 44 north compared to the newer sections. It's just not even close. You can't even compare it. And the villages, they have championship golf courses like right here in the screen. And this is their site. As you can see, Belglad, Bonifay, Evans Prairie, I haven't been to. I want to go there, though. King Garden. You see they have all these. It says here on the Verizon Meadowview. They're also trying to play off Shallow Creek, which is, I believe that's also Boosters as a country club. It just doesn't hold water to the older sections. And I'll show you the map here. As you can see where the cutoff is. As you can see, here's Booster, supposedly. This is 44. This is Megas. That's Sawgrass. So Southern Oak. So they don't even name it by the place. But if you zoom in on these places, you can see it's Sawgrass, right? And it's not even close to being what these are up here. I mean, the attention to detail that was put into the northern sections of the villages is so off the charts better than the southern portion of the villages. I personally can see it just because I like design. I like looking at things. I like if I go into a mall and go into a really, really beautiful place, I'm not really looking at the whole shebang. I'm looking at like the very fine detail. Like I'm looking at that tile and how they cut that to put it in. And I want to see what they're doing with certain things because then you see true talent. Like anybody can lay tile, but on the difficult portions of the tile laying, I want to see the true person with talent that put that in. That's what I'm looking for. And you can see definitely, as you can see here, they become less and less as we approach the southern portions of the villages on their map, at least, that the country club has become a thing of the past to the new generation of runners. Unfortunately, it's sad to see because these country clubs are absolutely phenomenal. Look at this Glenview Country Club. And I will tell you that the drive into this country club crushes the drive into Fenny. Now, Fenny's beautiful. I love it in there. It's gorgeous. Beautiful trees, right? Naturey. Got the little place you can walk around. Drive into Glenview Country Club. Take a look at that. It's not even close. It makes Fenny looks like child's play. That's how good this place is on the drive-in through the Naturey Park. You're driving in. There's birds everywhere. There's animals everywhere. There's a ton of nature going on. There's water in the middle. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to be back up in that way because we have a new listing coming up there. And I'm going to be back that way on Tuesday. I'm going to go through this place. I'm going to shoot some video because it is absolutely stunning. Their menu is amazing. We ate lunch. I mean, the meal, I got a nice tea. My wife got a hot water and we got 2 lunches. I think the meal was $28, right? If I go to Wendy's, it's more than that. So this is just, I mean, the views, look at the views out here. Stunning. And you can come out here. It's glenviewcountryclub.com. And on Sunday, I didn't even know this, but on Sunday, they have a Sunday brunch. Look at this for $27.99 a guest. Now, some people may say that's a lot, but I'm looking at what they're serving here. It's quite a bit. For $7 more, you got bottomless mimosas. So, I mean, you can get your thing on for breakfast for $6.99. But it's absolutely unreal. They made to order omelet station, chef carved prime rib, ham carving station, classic eggs Benedict, fresh pastries and dessert, a selection of brunch favorites. I'm going to that in the next couple of weeks, without a doubt, for $27.99. You can make reservations online. But I was very, very impressed with the atmosphere. I was very, very impressed with the fact with the bartender, Sean. Very good. He said he was newer, came up, shook her hand, introduced themselves, asked for our names. That's what you do in a place. You want to get to know people. Mr. Gilbo, thank you so much for coming in. Here's your credit card back. Please sign when you get a chance. If you have any questions, you let me know. We can't wait to see it back. That's what he said to me. What a great thing to do. What a great service that is. Now that to me is class. And what I see a lot of people missing today in some of the establishments is class. And, because people like the fact that they're treated something special. And people are like, screw that. Nobody's special. No, they're not, but they like to be treated special. And that goes a long, long way to me personally when it comes to someone doing business with someone. But anyways, go check this place out. It's absolutely stunning. And if I look at the map of the championship golf courses, country clubs, where did they go? Why did this mindset change? Was it cost? The kids don't think that's important. I'm just trying to figure it out. And as you can see here, there's a ton of, I've been in many of these. Havana's absolutely stunning. I think they're redoing on the inside of that from last time I checked. But great food. Again, well priced. Mallory Hill. I love Arnold Palmer's absolutely gorgeous. Palmer Legends. I love their country club. We go in there. Every time I go into that country club of Arnold Palmer, I have a blast. The people are so nice. They're so talkative. It is a riot. And I go into Boosters down south, which is trying to claim it to be a country club in Shallow Creek. It's just not the same environment. It's different. And so I hope that the Villages can capture this again. I don't know if you ever will, based on what they're doing. Looks like they're into the house build as fast as I can stage, not so much build quality, surrounded by class type system. I'm not saying the Villages don't do a good job building homes. That's not what I'm saying. This is not a bash on the Villages. They've done a beautiful job. But as you can see the difference, look at all the country clubs up north and look at them down south. Well, those aren't even country clubs, Sawgrass and Boosters, no matter what they tell you. Look at the difference and tell me that things have not changed over the last 10 to 15 years. So anyways, that's my opinion. These are, again, if you have a chance, go to these country clubs and check them out. They're absolutely gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, and they're community driven. Everybody around them goes to these places for lunch. They go there for dinner. They go there for special occasions. It's absolutely beautiful to see. So anyways, that's my opinion of country clubs in the Villages and why I think they need to bring them back and make them a thing again. All right, just keep in mind, as everybody knows, I'm a big fan of promoting deposit protection. A lot of people in the Villages don't like it that I talk about this stuff because this has been going on in the Villages for a long time. But there has been a lot of deposits lost in the Villages because the contracts have not been explained properly to the clientele, in my opinion. And when you put a deposit down here in the Villages using that FAR bar contract, you have to be very careful what you write on that contract to protect your client's deposit. And I would tell you, it's a contract. So if you break it, you're going to lose your deposit. If you think you're going to back out of a bad home inspection, you may want to think twice. Because those things, if that contract is not written in your favor, you're going to lose your deposit. And trust me, I've had phone calls of 5, 10, 15, 25. Had one for 30 grand, many at 5, 10, $15,000, many that lost their deposit, just stories. So I'm just telling you, when you write an offer in the Villages or any communities around and you're using that FAR bar contract, it is not written for your favor as a buyer. I'm a big fan, and I think most sellers would agree. I think most sellers would agree that a fair contract for both parties is what everybody is trying to obtain. And I think when that trust is broken, things go downhill, in my opinion. And that, a seller, personally, I don't feel you should have to lose your deposit, especially if you get a crappy home inspection. I mean, that happens. You get a really bad home inspection. The only time I believe you should lose your deposit or part of it is if you did a home inspection, you're okay with the home inspection in the sense of, okay, look, there's a lot on here, but if you're willing to fix them, then I'm going to move forward. Okay. And then the seller goes and spends, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 to fix it. And then you still want to back out. That to me is not cool because you got to cover the seller's expenses, right? Because you agreed to it. So when you agree to a home inspection, you agree to the repairs from the seller. Me personally, I feel that you should not get your deposit back, or it should be, you should make sure that you reimburse the seller for the time and effort into fixing the property that you said you would buy if they did certain things. So there are times where you deserve to lose your deposit. I'm not saying that everybody should get their deposit back all the time, because that's not the case. But I am a big fan of protecting a buyer's deposit in the sense of if I do a home inspection, that thing is a nightmare and it's a lot more than my $1,500 that they said they would fix. I should be able to back out of that deal and get my full money back and move on to a house that I feel more comfortable about. Nobody, in my opinion, should be able to buy a house that they're not comfortable with buying. And I think as a seller, I don't want a buyer to buy my home unless they're comfortable. Personally, that's me. So yes, I'm a big fan of protecting deposits. I'm probably the only realtor in the villages online that actually talks about protecting people's deposits. I think the only other agent that has mentioned it online was Ira Miller. And congrats to him for saying something about it and interviewing somebody about it. Because what happens is when you tell the truth about stuff like this, and when something happens to them, when they're writing an offer with their agent that's not with our company, and they realize that, hey, man, what if the home inspection comes back and it's horrible, and their agent says, well, you're gonna lose your deposit? That means they're not writing up the contract in your favor. They're leaving the contract as is on that FAR bar contract, which is protecting the seller 100%. So that's where I think realtors have a lot to learn when it comes to protecting their buyer. Now, I know realtors will say, well, I'm a transactional broker, but you're still writing an offer for your buyer. You're still writing offers for your buyers. Protect your buyer. The seller has their representation. You're over here representing the buyer. Make sure you're protected. So that's the biggest thing I have. The biggest problem I have down here in Florida is that the FAR bar contract is crappy. I even had an attorney online. It was actually a video state that the FAR bar contract is pretty fair to both parties. I almost spit up my chicken soup. I couldn't believe he said it because I'm not sure what contract that guy's writing, but the FAR bar contract is not favorable to the buyer in many ways. So just be careful when you're writing offers. You ask your agent, what happens if this happens? Am I getting my money back? Well, I'm not willing to give my full 10 grand to the seller because I don't like the home inspection. I'm not going to send the seller's kids to college because they had a bad home inspection. I no longer have an interest in buying the house. So that's what we're here for, folks. We're here to protect you. A lot of agents in town don't like the fact I'm talking about this. And we're being truthful and honest to clients, whether you use us or not. If you're going to write an offer in the villages, you better make sure your deposit is protected because that FAR bar contract does not protect your deposit in any way, shape, or form. Just keep that in mind. All right, house number 164 Palermo Place. I've seen a couple houses for sale in this area. This is backed up to a beautiful backyard with this fence and this picture over here. It also has a big field behind that. Now, I'm not sure if that field back there is going to remain wild forever, but it's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful front palm tree. It's gorgeous. And again, 164 Palermo. It's a 4 beds, 3 baths, 2,200 square foot for $500,000. This thing is gorgeous. The only thing it doesn't have is a golf cart garage. And maybe you can put one in here on the side of this house because it looks like you got plenty of room to do it. Of course, you got to get it approved, but there's potential to put in a golf cart garage in this house. It's been on the market 30 days. It's what? Annual taxes, 7549, 0.31 acres, built in 1999. Beautiful house. And again, 2202 square foot, 4 beds. But look what they've done to it. They've recently marked it down 15 grand. So obviously the action in that little area or the action slowed a little bit. No bond paid, 25 roof, no expense out of your pocket for many years, 25 hot water heater installed, 17 HVAC, no homes behind it is. It's expanded and customized 4-3 Gardenia. Beautiful place. Let me show you where it is. Here's 466. It's right outside. There's a ton of shopping in here. It's beautiful up here again, right south of Spanish Springs, not too far from Lake Sumter. Again, it's just a different ride when you ride through these neighborhoods up in here off Morse Boulevard and Buena Vista. You just see the difference from north to south. Now, I know I'm going to give the south the benefit of the doubt that in 10 years it may look like this, but I'm not seeing it. This is a great location if you want shopping, near everything. You got Best Buy, Sam's Club. It's not too far away. I love Lake Sumter. I was there last night. Absolutely gorgeous place. It's stunning. It's huge. Good shopping. And I just love it. But think about this one. This is a nice house. Let's go through some pictures real quick and go from there. I love the front palms. I think they're gorgeous. I'm afraid of this one a little bit too close to the house, but maybe not. You could tell that's the reason why it's smaller. Beautiful palms. Look at this backyard. Look at that baby. That beautiful tree. Wow. The only thing I would put on this house, and I would put gutters on, but if you put gutters on this side, make sure you put the gutter covers on them. Keep all these leaves and debris out of them. But look at this backyard. Look how gorgeous that is. Woo. Love it. Neighbors keep their house beautiful. Beautiful front entryway. They do have gutters, but not on the whole thing. Here's beautiful flooring too. Love it. Now that's bamboo. It's not tile, but it's not vinyl neither. It's not linoleum, but it looks like hardwood. As you can see in the thing, it looks like bamboo flooring. Pretty. Very big living room. It's nice. Love it. Off this going to be probably a bedroom and a bath right here. That's cool. There's a couple of things that may be dated in these homes, but it wouldn't take much to replace them, like these countertops. The countertops are actually granite. They're gorgeous. But cabinets aren't a lot to replace in bathrooms. They're cheap. Flooring is not a lot to replace in bathrooms. That's cheap. Very nice. And this kitchen is kind of enclosed. I like this when you walk in. See if we can get the countertop look here. It's beautiful. Big island. Front door entry. Walks into this eating area up front. Probably a bedroom on the left. Right there. Probably 2 bedrooms over here. Because this is a 4-bed, 3-bath, folks. 3-bath, 4-bed. Beautiful granite countertops. And a lot of people, what they can do is you can buy this countertop depth fridge. I've had one. I love it. But it takes about 3 inches off this refrigerator and knocks it way back over here. So it'll open up some room here if you want. So what I would do is sell this baby, sell all these appliances, and I just update to newer ones. But these are just fine if you're okay with them. I love the tile floor too. Eating area is pretty. Love it. You could tell they took care of this house. Wow, look at that. Yeah, this is not cheapo flooring. It's nice flooring. So this is the master. I want to see how big this is. I see a closet there. I'm assuming this is the bathroom walkway. There you go. So you got your own lanai sliding door. I love that. Closet number 1. Maybe closet number 2. Here's the bath. So that looks like granite. It's pretty. Those cabinets are not original cabinets. Those are newer. Love the tile shower. That's probably been done too by the looks of it. Here's another bed. Very nice. That's off that front door. So this is that bath behind the front door to the left, the bedroom. And there's a bathroom here too. Look at this. So you got a surround here with a tub, and you got granite countertop. Same cabinets as the kitchen. I'm fine with. I love the flooring in this house. Another bed. This is actually a flex space by the looks of it. There's no closet here. So a great office, by the way, or an additional bedroom if you want it to be. Here's the other bath. Another bedroom. Man, this house is big. There you go. So that's the master over there behind that. This is another bedroom, which is beautiful. It has its own bath over here off the living room. So it's kind of like you can have your own little space over here. I love it. Let's go to the garage. Wow, look how big this lanai is. Oh, it's got a bird cage too. So nothing that a little cleanup, maybe some paint if you want a different color. Love the fan. That's gorgeous. I'd rip out that carpet, maybe put something else down. But it's fine. I love the bird cage. Gives you extra space, hang out. Look at beautiful backyard. Wow. Love it. So these have gutters in them if you don't know that. But the bird cages come with gutters. So there is gutters on part of the house. On the other side of the house where there's a bunch of trees, I did not see gutters on that side of the house. But if you do put them on over there, you got to put gutter covers. Here's a garage pull downstairs. I see that. There's the furnace. It's got a central vac system. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So you'll be able to plug your vac into a wall, into a socket in the wall, and turn it on. And that's awesome. Love that. I think that's what that is. If it isn't, tell me it isn't down below and let me know. Hot water tank, you got your water filtration and softener over here, which is nice. Look at that. Palms. Man. See, no gutters over here. So I'm buying this house. Number one, I like the house. There's a golf cart path here. I'm not sure where that goes. You'd have to look at the map. But it's a beautiful place. It's quiet. I guarantee you this is very quiet. There's nothing behind you. It's a beautiful area. It's all grown up. Look how beautiful all the trees are. Man, I love this house. I love it. So 164 Palermo Place, 500,000 right on the dot. Just marked down 15K. It's 4 beds, 3 baths, 2202 square foot. Sitting at 227 a square foot. I love it. 0.31 acres. That's a pretty big lot for the Villages. Built in 99, but it's got some updates. Double sinks, quartz countertops, new vanity and toilet. Guest bedrooms provide ample flexibility. They do. 2 feature carpets, built-in closets. Enjoy the Florida room. Room to add a pool. That's another plus. A lot of people are looking for that, right? And it is close to shopping. You're up here in the 466 area, 466A. Ton of shopping north and south of you, so you won't have a problem finding something at that 10 o'clock at night deal. Okay, but look at this. It's a great location. Think about this. It started at what? 515, now down to 500. I think it's a great deal at this price. I love it. And I love that backyard. So think about this one again, 164 Palermo. All right, the next one, 5835 Tupper Court, 675. This is a beautiful view, and I believe it's a Village of Hawkins. I love the kitchen on this dang thing. Got a fence in the backyard. This is a veranda, which is just pretty much a designer home with a fenced yard. But why anybody is paying 400 grand for $300,000 supposedly? The rumor going around is somebody's paying 350, 400 grand for a nice lot in Eastport. Until I see the county record showing that that is the case, I'm not going to believe it. Because when you can buy this for 675 when it's already done with this beautiful house, why in God's name are you spending money down there for 400 grand? Because you're never going to get that money back. I don't care what you do with a house. 3 bed, 2 bath, 1922, 5835 Tupper Court, 351 a square foot, 2020 build, things brand new, 0.16 acres. Price to sell, premium waterfront site, high-end upgraded block and stucco, Mayberry veranda model. Rule 4 pole 2, by the way. So it's a gorgeous place. Where's it located? Here's Citrus Grove, Sawgrass across the street. Right down Megason, Village of Hawkins. Over here is going to be Magnolia Plaza. This is Bexley Trail, bringing you down the Eastport area. Here is Marsh Bend that brings you down towards the Eastport area. Beautiful area. I love it in here. It's nice. So let's see some photos and let's go from there. Look at this beautiful house. It's gorgeous. Love the fans. Love the big glass chandeliers. Love it. Ooh, look at this baby. Love the flooring. Looks like tile. Love the kitchen. They go to the ceiling. Beautiful. Love the island. Looks like granite countertops too, by the way. Could be quartz, but it looks like granite. Gas stove. Love it. Updated appliances. Got this little bar area in here. Here's some. Look at that view. I'll take it. Beautiful tile. This is the master, by the way. Love the sinks. Love the countertops. Love the cabinets. Here's back lanai area. Big TV cabinet. There you go. Somebody's feeding the birds. Bunch of birds all over the dang place. There we go. That's a great view. So you're going to have some privacy here. Your backyard is nice. You have a fenced yard, so you have an animal. It's even better. You know, they have some privacy. Just be careful around that open back fence, especially if you have a small dog that can squeeze through it. Just be careful. I love this chandelier. Why do I think I've done this house before? There you go. Big living room, kitchen area. Yeah, I have done this house before. This is gorgeous. Love this house. Love the front door. I'm not sure if that's just a stick-on, the plastic they put on, if that's part of the glass, but it's beautiful. Okay. Kind of all over the board with the pictures on this house. Again, you know, you got to lead people through the home. They're beautiful photos. You just got to lead people through the house. Let me know where I am. Like right now, I don't know where I am. I know I keep going back to the kitchen, back to somewhere else, back. And that just confuses everybody. You got to have a flow to your photos. Again, we've had 50,000 of these pictures, but again, I love the kitchen. It's gorgeous. But we've already been here. So this is probably, I'm assuming, a hallway off the kitchen somewhere. And that's probably the garage door. Okay, master finally. Back into the master. A little fireplace TV stand over there. I love the closet. So would my wife. She could probably fill that baby with shoes. Beautiful walk-in shower. Love it. Love those boots too. Those are awesome. Very nice. Love this back room. They've finished the floor too. Very nice. So they do have a dog, which is nice. Let them out. They got a little shed over here. Small one. Call the birds there. Wow. Look at them all. So golf cart garage. Beautiful. Landscaping's bare minimum, which I am 100% okay with. I don't like buying a house with overbearing landscaping because that's going to be more work on your part. I prefer to have it bare minimum so that I can do what I want with it. Relatively easy. It's nice. I don't care for the photos though. They'll be beautiful, but they're just all over the place. This is a beautiful front room. Obviously, they're collectors of stuff. Is that the house? A little Halloween, little decor going on with the garage. That's nice. I love that view. And this is a great location. It's near everything. It's close to a bunch of stuff. There you go. Yeah. So these are verandas. We're not sure what verandas are. They're a designer home with a fence yard. Just keep that in mind, right? So if you're looking for something like this for your animal, which obviously they have a dog, and exit and entry right here. And it's a great thing to have just because you have a little privacy. The dog is a lot better. They're not barking at everything. And the neighbors are going to love you better too when you have the dog behind a fence. Trust me. And one thing you will have in a neighborhood full of fence is that you're going to have a little bit more noise, especially with the animals, that I find. But maybe your neighborhood's not like that, but you will have a little bit more noise in neighborhoods like this just because people, they want these houses because they have an animal. That's a beautiful side yard on that. Wow. So this is a great location. So I love the photo. I just wish they would just reorganize the photos a little bit so I can walk through the house a little bit easier. Going from one room back to another, then to another room back to the same one, another back to the same one. That's just confusing for everybody. I don't really care for it. 675 though. It's 3 beds, 2 bath, 1922 square foot, 5835 tupper. It's 351 a square foot. Which maybe a little high compared to what's been going recently on the water. But then again, compared to what some of these people are paying on some of these water lots I heard down in the newer sections, I'm not too sure anymore. Maybe it could be a good price. But it's a beautiful home. It says price to sell. Has not sold yet. When they list this thing? On 10/30, 7/34. Ouch. Oh, ouchie. So they dropped 55 grand in 2 weeks. Okay. 8%. Okay, so when you price your home, folks, this is sellers. I'm not blaming realtors for this most of the time. But if you're pricing your home, you got to price it aggressive in this market, even if it is a waterfront home. Okay, if it was a pool home, you have a little bit more leeway because there's not so many of them. But there are a lot of homes in the villages that are waterfront or, they're back up to a marsh. So just be careful when you're pricing your home. Right up front, you got to price your home correctly, even at 675, which was done at 1115, which is what? Yesterday. So we're going to give them some time. Maybe at this price it'll sell. But I'll keep an eye on this too. I think it's beautiful. I love it. I may have a couple clients may be interested in something like this, especially with the waterfront and the fence yard. So if you have any questions on this one, let us know. 5835 Tupper Court. It's a beautiful, beautiful home for $675. So if you haven't been to our website, this is it. Go here to the Villages tab. Go to Buy Home. I have the Fast Search Homes right here tab. I have everything broken down for you. All the searches, just scroll down, makes your life easy. Download our map. It's point and click. Lets you search the villages just right here on the screen. By point and clicking on a village, it'll bring up that inventory that's for sale within that village on our website. Makes your life simple. Open houses, they're all updated for this weekend, so feel free. They're probably about to end here soon, about another hour and a half. They typically run open houses in the villages from like, I don't know, 9 to 3:30, give or take. Maybe 4 o'clock if some of the agents are brave. Go here. I update them every day on a point-and-click map for your cell phone, and you can also pull them up on a desktop as well. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you're going to do a lifestyle visit, also let me know. We'll give you up to $1,000 back on your lifestyle visit when you buy an MLS home through us. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Everybody have a rockin' day.